Was Jose Benavidez Sr. telling us the truth about Jose Rayo Valenzuela this whole time? I covered this topic a few times, and in a lot of these videos that I covered with him, I was mainly siding with Rayo. And the thing with me is I keep it real all the way around, and I don't sugarcoat none. I don't got no relationship with none of these individuals for me to feel like I owe them any type of loyalty. So I tell it how it is. Now, if I did have a relationship with him, I won't mention it publicly, and I'll probably just talk to him privately about it. But until then, I publicize everything, right? And when I covered their situation with, their split up, I was mainly siding with Rayo because I was having an open mind to both perspectives, and I felt like it was just making a little bit more sense according to Rayo, right? And his perspective of the situation. So from there, we fast forward. We see Jose Benavidez Sr. still active, coaching David Benavidez and whatnot, uh, and even Pitbull, right? Pitbull's on that same card. Um, but I noticed, like, I'm not sure why the rematch between Rayo and Pitbull didn't finalize, but the looks of things don't look good for Rayo, if you ask me. And I'm here to tell you why. Jose Benavidez accused Rayo, or I wouldn't say accused Rayo, but I would say blamed Rayo's, way of living for the cause of a lot of these bad performances he had against someone like De Los Santos and so on. And he blamed it on, him partying, him coming staying late, him feeling bad and sick because he had a hangover, and Jose Benavidez Sr. ended up taking care of all the interviews for him. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? In my head, I was like, why would he mention this? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of stuff that shouldn't be publicized. But I'm starting to understand that maybe he did that to protect his own reputation, which is pretty obvious. But the fact that we're seeing how things are unfolding as we move forward, we're looking at Rayo, and he's kind of doing exactly what Jose Benavidez Sr. was speaking of, right? And now we're seeing Jose Rayo, and he's drinking again, right? And there's nothing wrong with drinking. He's a world champion. He's allowed to do that, celebrate however you like to. But where that fight haven't took place since, a couple of months passed already since Rayo versus Pitbull. We haven't heard nothing yet, right? And this is why I say it doesn't look good, because we have Rayo, posted on his stories. He's showing off his nice iced out watch, going out with his girl. They're having a few drinks, and we're seeing this a little bit more than we would really see him get training and focus for a return. And we're looking at Pitbull, and he's on the card with David Benavidez, right? So what don't look good is that I'm noticing a cycle with a lot of these individuals where they become world champions, or they have a good opportunity where they make a lot of money from, and we start to see a loss of hunger, if you would say, right? Rayo was locked in preparing for Pitbull Cruz. Now that he has the title, to me it seems like he lost hunger, where he's not setting no more goals for him to accomplish, and he's on top of the hill. And I say that because I'm going according to what he's doing behind the scenes, of not even behind the scenes of what he's publicizing, showing his watch, and there's nothing wrong with showing off, being happy for what you owned. But he's showing off his watch, his outfit, his girl wearing some stuff, you know what I'm saying, drinking and doing whatever. And in my head, I'm like, man, is it me, or does it seem like too many fighters want to live that Mayweather lifestyle so early without understanding the journey of Mayweather and what he had accomplished to get there? Let's not forget, Mayweather holds the record for the most gate. He did crazy numbers. That's going to be extremely hard to beat. Crazy numbers. And we see this side of him after he got these crazy numbers. And it seems like fighters that are just reaching that world title, or whatever the case is, are acting like, or presenting themselves like if they're there already, rather than trying to continue staying focused and locked in to be able to really beat her like Mayweather is, right? It seems like everybody wants to look the part at an early stage of their career when it, to me, in my opinion, there's still work to be done. Yes, congratulations, you're a world champion now. But what makes a world champion very respected is when he defends that world title. It's easy to get to that world title, right? But it's harder to defend it against somebody that was once in your shoes wanting to take it from you.
Toma.
It's just a little harder to defend it, right? Mayweather has done this time and time again. And I believe that in this current era, we're dealing with fighters, man. And this is also to side with Jose Benavidez Sr., man, because I understand where he's coming from. And considering that we see him as a world, I can only imagine what he's doing and what he's not publicizing, Rayo. Because he was already doing this with Jose Benavidez Sr., according to Jose Benavidez Sr. And I would like to use other examples with other fighters like Devin Haney, like Berlanga, maybe someone like Shakur. Like, it seems like a lot of these fighters are rushing the looks of being the richest, right? Instead of just being patient and staying locked in. So you could actually get that. Mayweather used to stay active, at least giving us 2 fights a year. These fighters are not even like what happened to Berlanga. And Berlanga's Puerto Rico. I like Berlanga. I say he has potential to be the face of Puerto Rico. Now I feel like I'm low key cringed out, and I still want to like him though. Not just because he's Puerto Rican, it's because what I witnessed inside that ring when he went against Canelo, when he got knocked down and got back up and did his best to reevaluate himself, adjust, and get some success despite him losing convincingly, but still getting some success in some of those exchanges, right? Not being scared when Canelo turned his back and it seemed like he was insulting Edgar Berlanga before the bell rung. Berlanga said, wait, it's not over. Bang. You know what I'm saying? Those are exciting. Him talking, doing the, you know what I'm saying? With the Generation X, suck it, you know what I'm saying?
Toma.
I thought that was interesting, entertaining, but I don't think these boxers know how much momentum they lose when they don't keep the reason why we fell in love with them in the first place alive, right? Like Rayo, I was locked in. I made a little mini documentary saying that he's going to pull the upset because I just knew how focused he looked. His back was against the wall. Pitbull was overlooking him, not even shaking his hand, not acknowledging him. Rayo say, I'm going to make him pay for that. That inspired me. It was something about how you said it and how determined he was to get in this victory. Now we're seeing a Rayo that's flashing some of his ice. You know what I'm saying? Flashing, drinking in public. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like it just doesn't look good, right? Because this is things that we see from fighters like Mayweather. And it was already annoying coming from Mayweather, but the difference is that Mayweather actually got it like that. You know what I'm saying? Some of these fighters don't got it like that to be buying these expensive Rolex to look the part so crazy. Like, and I'm not trying to get in their finances. I'm sure they're doing a lot better than me. You know what I'm saying?
Toma.
I'm not saying that. I'm sure they're doing a lot better than me. What I'm saying is they're rushing a lifestyle that doesn't make sense to how their careers are accordingly going. You know what I'm saying? They're rushing this lifestyle that's not matching up with their career finances type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather was getting these Rolexes, was getting all this stuff when he was already on. And he was getting dirty before he got there, and then became money made, and he was really just about his business. So it's just, I have to come back and, I'm not going to say I'm going to apologize to someone like Jose Benavidez Sr. because at the end of the day, I'm going according to my perspective from how the situation is. I don't know everything that's taking place behind the scenes. So I only could go according to the information I did collect and what makes the most sense at the end, right? But what I will say is that, I am more understanding of Jose Benavidez Sr. perspective as of right now, according to how we see Rayo carrying himself at this moment, In defense of Rayo, he did make a post and he said about 7 days ago that stay ready, staying ready with my guy, and he has his boy that they're training together. And I'm hoping that he's keeping more of that balance. But don't forget to publicize what got you in that position to begin with. Because you flashing, like, shout out to Berlanga, much love, but flashing ice, doing all this, dressing in, like, while we see people like Elon Musk walking around with chancletas and no shirt looking crazy with $10 shorts on, and he's richer than the whole boxing industry combined.
Toma.
You see what I'm saying? I think culture does play a role in this, and just wanting to be accepted by the people, wanting people to look at you like as you're important. And I think a lot of these fighters are getting blinded from that type of agenda and not understanding that we fell in love with you because how you performed in that ring. I fell in love with the way Rayo boxed when he was boxing against Pitbull, you know, when he knocked out Colbert. You know what I'm saying? Those, even when he fought De Los Santos, I like his warrior mentality, getting it in. It's like, you know what, I lost, but he gave us his heart, right? Pause.
Hold up.
So let's get back to that. You know, Rayo, let's get back to that. As well as everybody else, Berlanga, Devin, Shakur, all of y'all, man. Let's get back to the hunger of wanting to be a boxer before trying to show off your shine. We're going to notice your shine, believe me. You know what I'm saying? We're going to notice your shine. That's the purpose of it. We're going to see you shining. You don't need to have the glitter and think to, if you're going to do that, at least have the balance with your career. The greatest fighters right now are not even active. They're too busy going to basketball games right now. But you have a job to do, right? And it's unforgivable. So when you come back and you might see that you're not getting the same exact, you know, attention that you believed you had and you believed you controlled, hopefully you're able to adjust to be able to fix that and come back. Because if not, that's when things start going downhill. You start realizing that you overspend your money on things that you still have to keep up with and maintain and pay bills for, that you can no longer afford because you're not making the same amount of money that you thought you was always going to keep making. And then life gets a little, you know, it gets a little rough from there. Let's get back to boxing, the essence of boxing, you know. Celebrate when you at the finish line. Just having a world champion is a great accomplishment, right? But the finish line should be becoming undisputed. That should be the finish line at least. I'll say become undisputed and defend it once. And if you could become undisputed and defend that once, to me, that's like a finish line right there. You were able to conquer your division and defend it, right? You just have one title and you have no defenses. We need Edgar Berlanga. He actually lost. We're still waiting to hear some news about him coming back. Tank Davis is fighting in March, right? He only fought one time last year or this year. Devin Haney still haven't announced his return. Ryan Garcia made a return before he did, and he's suspended for a year. Shakur Stevenson fight fell out against Cordina, a fight we never wanted to see him to begin with. We're still waiting for another fight announcement. I'm disappointed how this current era is going, but I do have to show some respect and acknowledgement to how Jose Benavidez Sr. was trying to tell us this. And I'm not saying that he's 100% right. We still don't know what's taking place behind the scenes. But what I will say is that there's signs being shown through Rayo's, you know, page according to what he's publicizing from everything that Jose Benavidez Sr. been telling us. So that's all I want to say. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Comment your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Toma!